Hello everybody, welcome to Lightning Round. Tony here, and today we're going to be going over the BougeRV CRPRO30. This is an electric cooler and one of my favorite camping gear upgrades. Today we're going to be doing a quick overview. We're going to talk about some specs, do a quick test, and hopefully I'll help you decide if this is worth your money. Stay tuned. Now, real quick, full disclosure, this is my personal fridge. I am not sponsored by BougeRV. I bought this with my own money, so I'm going to give you my honest opinion. All right, let's take a quick look around the cooler. So starting out in the front, as you can see, you have the BougeRV logo. You have a small cutout for easy open and close. And we have some vents here for the compressor. Moving on to the left side, we have some tie down points so you can secure it in your car. We have a cutout for a handhold so you can carry it easier. And down here we have the power supply port along with some more vents. Moving on to the back, we have a small pass-through here at the top. I'll show you what that's for in a second. We have more cutouts for the compressor and nothing on this side. And moving on to the right side, we have a built-in bottle opener, more tie-down points for security, another handhold for carrying, and nothing at the bottom. All right, at the bottom of the cooler, we do have 4 rubber feet. It's just hard for me to tilt it with one hand, but as you can see, it's not sliding on the table, so the rubber feet do work pretty well. At the top, we have this flat textured surface. We have 4 cutouts for cups, 2 small, 2 big. We have this compartment here that opens up, and as you can see, there's the pass-through that I showed you earlier. This is for either a battery or to store the cables that come with the unit. And I'll show you those in a second, but that latches on. We have the power button, settings button, a small display, and up and down buttons. Opening it up, we have this rubber foam seal that goes around to keep the cold air from escaping. We have this little cheat sheet here that tells you what temperatures you need for your food. Over here we have this beaded kind of like metal line to keep the cooler from flapping all the way open. We have a built-in LED and a center divider, removable center divider. There's 30 quarts of space in here, and it may not seem like a lot, but compared to a regular cooler, after you factor in all the space you're losing to just put ice in there, this is actually quite a bit of space. My wife and I have used this for about 3 to 4 day camping trips, and it's worked out great. Now, I've had this cooler for almost a year, so that is why I didn't do an unboxing for you. But out of the box, it comes with an AC adapter if you want to use it inside. It comes with a cigarette lighter 12-volt DC plug, a short one, and I'll show you what that short one's for. And it comes with a long cigarette lighter DC plug. So I'll put those to the side and I'll show you here. Now, you can either buy this cooler with the battery or without the battery. When I first purchased it, I purchased it without the battery, and then about a month later I got the battery. And like I said, this battery, this is where it lives. It fits perfectly in here. It has a little room for the cable, so that is where that short cable comes in. So you can either store it here if you're not using it, if it's great, or if you want to power it using the battery. Let me show you real quick. So the battery It's not just for the cooler. You can use it to charge your phone. So it has a USB-A, a USB-C in and out, a barrel plug for solar. Here's the power button, LED flash. This is how you control that. And it has a cigarette lighter 12 volts, which is how you power the cooler. On the top, you have a small display. Shows you the percentage, your output, and your input. So let me show you how this works. In the back, it has a proprietary. I'm guessing that's for some other type of cooler that this just slides into. So let me put that there. Now here, you'll come to the side. You plug this in, it has this little notch. There's the notch. And you line it up. Plug it in. Make sure it's nice and tight. And you come here to the back. You feed that through the pass-through. Line it up with the 12 volts. And let me make sure. See if you guys can see this. Sorry, it's kind of hard with just one hand. All right, here we go. Push it in, and you heard the beep sound. It's connected. Now it's not powered on, but as soon as you plug it in and the cooler has power, you can see the LED light is lit. So now I'm going to turn it on. There it is. It's currently sitting at 73. There, compressor kicked on. It's starting to cool. Now, it has a battery protection mode. That's what that M is for. I have it set to medium. I believe this is for if you have it plugged into your car and it detects that the voltage falls within a certain amount, then it'll cut off the cooler. This is to protect your car's battery. So I have it on medium. And it has your compressor modes. So right now I have it on max, and it also has an eco mode. There's the eco mode, and it should just be more efficient. But I'm gonna leave it at max. I have this thermometer. As you can see right now, the outside temperature is 80, humidity at 74, and that's 80 in freedom units or Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go ahead, put this inside. I'm going to close that. All right, so I have a 15-minute timer set. I'm going to go ahead, power it on. It says currently 73. I'm going to set it to 28, which is usually what I have it at, and I'm going to start the timer. So timer started, and I'm going to come back in 15 minutes and see where that has gone. So we're also going to test the power. So right now we're at 94% on the battery, using about 30 watts, 73 degrees, using 13.6 volts. So we're going to see how efficient it is. Now keep in mind, this is from a dead start, so it is going to use a little more power to cool off. But we'll be back in 14 minutes. All right, we're back. Our 15-minute timer just went off. And as you can see, we've gone from 74 to 61 degrees. I'm not going to do public math, but that's about 13 degrees. Our battery has gone down to 88%, and we are now using somewhere in the 60s, high 40s, low 60s as far as wattage from the battery. Now let's take a look inside. Down to 60, and we went from 80 to 72 degrees on this cheap thermometer, but all the walls are cool. It feels cooler in here. Cooler. And we're still dropping. Now, I did bring some items to throw in here so you guys can get an idea on how much space you're working with. All right, so let's load some stuff up, and I'm gonna keep the divider on. Usually, personally, I take it out just so I can have that little more space, but just so you guys can see, this is ground turkey. I got some eggs here. Let me put those last. I have a box of burgers with the eggs. This would fit a lot better if it wasn't for that handle, but there you go. I got some croissants also fit in there. On this side, got a water bottle, soda bottle, another water bottle, some body armor, and I got plenty of space. And this is just a really crude representation. Usually I'll organize this way better, or I won't bring a whole box of burgers, just what I need for that weekend. But as you can see, pretty spacious. If you remove the divider, then you can place some Tetris here and, you know, make better use of your space. Let's see. Put the eggs here, lay the burgers down, and have a ton of space. Like I said, I've owned this for almost a year. This thing has worked out great. We've used it for many camping trips, and I have not had any issues with it. Usually what I do is, if I know I'm going camping the night before, I'll plug it in using the AC adapter. I'll let it cool during the night. Then on our way to the camping trip, I'll power it using the truck. And once I get to the camping site and we set up, then that's when I use the battery to power it. And it'll last me an entire day just on this battery. Because once it's down to temperature, to whatever temperature you set it to, the compressor turns off and it only comes back on when the temperature starts to rise. It comes on, cools it back down to where you want it, turns back off. So this battery can actually last a day and a half easily, especially if you set it out in the shade, not getting beat down by the sun. This thing is great. One improvement that would make this better would be deeper handle holds, or some sort of mechanism that folds down, folds back out when you need it, because once the battery's in here and once this thing is loaded up, it can get a bit heavy. And see how shallow these are? Yeah, it gets a little hard to carry. But other than that, this thing is great. It's worked out fantastic in all our trips. Way better than what we used to have, which was an old igloo and a ton of ice that was constantly melting, not keeping temperature, making everything soggy. This keeps everything dry, keeps everything cool. I have had it where I set it down. I had some meat in there. I set it down to 0, and I had some liquid, some milk, some water, and it froze everything. So this thing can get down cold. So far it's been super reliable and we love it. You don't have to get that battery. You can power it with a Jackery. It's just convenient to have the battery kind of built into the cooler. But yeah, this is the BougeRV CRPRO30. This thing is great. I definitely do recommend it. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, comment below. Any questions you have, I'll answer. Hit me up. Thank you.